I'm Dean, the drum teacher at Do Re Mi Lessons. Lately, of course, I've been doing a lot of online lessons, which, while it's not ideal, it has afforded me the ability to have some advantages. Namely, my favorite advantage is being able to see the way students have their drum set or their marimba or even just their practice pad, how they have that set up at home. And I can kind of make some comments and suggestions on ways you can move maybe your crash cymbal or your hi-hat a little bit differently to have a more effective practice space. And one thing I've really been noticing is with a lot of my students, their bass drum sounds like somebody's throwing a Kong down an air tunnel. Super resonant and just kind of brutal sounding. And it occurred to me, a lot of folks don't realize that there's really simple things we can do to control the bass drum sounds, namely putting something in your bass drum. So I brought that up to a few of my students and they're like, well, I don't really know how to do that. So instead of spending 25 minutes of their 30-minute lesson showing them how to do that, I thought I'd make a video and kind of tell everybody how to do that. First thing you're going to need to do is get your drum key. You probably have one lying around the house, whether you know it or not. If you rented a drum from somewhere, or if you bought one, or a drum set, or whatever, you hopefully have a drum key laying around. Check the junk drawer in the kitchen. It could be in there. But it looks a lot like that. A lot of them, there's different kinds. There's really big ones and stuff too. But for the most part, it's that. And on the inside, there's just like 4 So that just goes on your tension rods of your drum like that. And that's how you can change the head. And that's also how you can tune your drums. So what you're going to do, you're just going to go around each of your tension rods on your drum. And I've already kind of done it on this drum to save time, except for this one here. You're just going to kind of loosen the tension rod. And once it's kind of loose, it's easier and faster to do it by finger like that. And I kind of let this one a little bit loose. So loosen all of your tension rods on your bass drum so that they're totally loose like that. Super simple. Okay. Now, some people are not going to have a tension rod that has the drum key. Some of them are going to have more of like a wing nut like that, which is great. That means you just don't need a drum key. You just loosen it by hand. Some people are going to have mostly normal drum key tension rods and maybe 2 of these. Usually the way, if that's the case, what you do is on the batter head, the side that you hit, you want to put those on the bottom so that they're kind of flat with the ground. So some of you will have just 2 of them. I'm taking off the top head, or the side of the head that faces the audience, the resonant head as we call it. Reason for that is when I position my pillow, I kind of want to be able to position the pillow so it's up against the batter head, the head that we're playing against. So, got all my tension rods released. I could probably just hold this. If I want to set it down, I can. Just be careful that all your little tension rods don't go flying. So I'm just going to hang on to it. And I'm going to take a pillow and just set it in the drum. Now, what you use is up to you. What we're doing is we're adjusting the sound of the drum. And the sound of the drum, the timbre of the drum, is really a personal preference thing. You can use, like I said, you can use a pillow like this. You can use a small pillow. I remember at one point when I was a little bit younger, I really liked a really dry sound out of my bass drum. Like, no resonance at all. And I had a whole bedroom set in there at one point in my life. Since then, I kind of prefer a more open sound, a little more resonance, and I just kind of do one of these guys. So I'm going to set the head back on the drum here. Now, some bass drums are going to have a little porthole. The purpose of that is for our sound engineer, our sound guy, if we're recording or playing live in a place that needs a big sound support system, a PA system, they're going to put the bass drum mic right there. You might be tempted to try and shove your grandma's handmade comforter into that hole. Don't do that, because it will break it. You can see here that my head has been kind of cracked and broken over the years of mics kind of getting hit in the wrong spot and stuff like that. Now, in this drum over here, I don't know if you can see that on this drum, my Vistalite, my big old Bonham Vistalite, I like it to be big and open. So I just have a few bar towels in there, nothing real big. And those are small enough to where I can kind of put them in there, and I can real carefully put my arm in there and adjust, okay? Again, the more you put in, the less resonant the drum is going to be. So you can experiment with different quantities and different materials of what to put into your drum to see what kind of sound that you like the best. Okay? So now I've got the pillow in there. I've got the pillow up against the batter head, the head that you hit, because that's going to really control a lot of our sound. Sometimes people will do both. They'll have the pillow touching both heads, and then that's going to give you a little bit different sound. Up to you, okay? So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go through and lightly finger tighten each of these tension rods. Now, if I was being really studious and really diligent, a little tip here is you can get some petroleum jelly and just dab the tip of the tension rod in there, so you just have a little bit of petroleum jelly on the tip of the tension rod. And then what that does is it kind of lubricates the casing here where you put the tension rod in. It's a good idea to do that. Truth be told, I forgot about it until I just brought it up, otherwise I would have done it here. So anyways, here we go. Again, I'm just kind of lightly finger tightening each of these little tuning rods. Okay, I got them all in there. Gonna finger tighten a little bit more to where I can't really move them any more with my fingers. Oh, this one over here. At this point, it doesn't really matter what order you do them in as you're tightening with your fingers. Just kind of go around, make sure they're all about even. Once I can't really tighten much more with my fingers, what I'll do is I'll take my drum key again, and I'm going to go around, and I am going to do these in a crisscross pattern. So I'm going to start here, and I'm just going to give it maybe 1 half turn. And then I'm going to go across, just like you're changing your tires on your dad's Camaro. 1 full twist. So I got these two. Now I'm going to go opposite over here. Boom. Squeak. I'm going to cross over here. Squeak. 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 And squamp. Okay. So now the drum is tighter. You know, the head's on there. I'm not going to go into in this video, I'm not going to go into all the intricacies and details of tuning drums. That's a whole other video, and there's tons of videos out there on the internets about how to properly do that. But I will say that what I want to do is just go around and make sure that at each point of contact of the tension head, I want the pitch to be about the same. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it very well. So this one was a little bit higher, so I would go ahead and tweak. Again, we're getting into really kind of complicated stuff with tuning your drums. As long as you've got them relatively tight and relatively even, then you're in pretty good shape. Next thing you're going to do, turn that drum around. Hopefully your pillow or whatever you have in there is in good shape. Get a drumstick, which I should have on. Here we go. Get a drumstick, a mallet, your pedal, and see how it sounds. To me, this one's pretty dry. So I'm even just going to shake the pedal, shake it a little bit, you know, loosen it up a little bit. Okay, so that's kind of how to put a pillow or a bedroom set or a little sister into your bass drum. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them down in the comments below. Thanks so much. Again, I'm with Do Re Mi Lessons, www.doremi lessons.com. Thanks.